Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Burgundy Gold Knuckleheads podcast. And as always, in the festive mood is my main man, Reggie. What's going on, Reggie?
Festive, huh?
Festive. We're on the verge of the holiday season here.
You know,
Thanksgiving right around the corner. Everybody's starting to talk about their Thanksgiving plans and Christmas. Black Friday is around the corner.
we are, man. We are.
But
I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving, man, because we will play the hated Dallas Cowboys. So that's right now the reason I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And a little bit of time off. But let me ask you this, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please tell me that my buddy Ken, that you're not one of those people.
You know I probably am, but go ahead.
Oh, God. Please tell me you're not one of these people, man, that got your Christmas lights.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So let me just say this. Let me be clear. I'm okay with people going ahead and taking advantage and putting the lights up, whether that because the weather's been good or you want to get in front of the demand that, you got these people that are running around the early specials to get your lights up,
right?
Because you want to get them up for Christmas.
Right.
So I got zero problem with people putting them up. My
right.
issue is there's people already got their lights on.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't even gotten to Thanksgiving yet. And y'all got the Christmas lights on. It's like, why not wait till the day after Christmas?
And day after Thanksgiving? Day after Thanksgiving.
Day after Thanksgiving. I'm sorry. Day after Thanksgiving. And there's people in my neighborhood and just driving. I see people. I'm like, we just gonna just get right past, skip right over Thanksgiving, huh? So please tell me.
Look. No, for me, no. Okay. My personal rule used to be not till December, right?
Okay.
So that included Thanksgiving weekend. Nothing was going up. My wife and daughter I don't have anything to do with the inside decorations. They do it. So They typically will do it the weekend of Thanksgiving. It might be the next day. It might be Saturday. It might be Sunday. But the tree will probably be going up Thanksgiving weekend. But the lights won't go outside until December. It might be December 1st. Might be December 2nd. But it's not going up in November.
Okay.
I will tell you, there was one street over from me. These people had one of those inflatable like arches for Halloween. Right? The kids come through and everything. That's cool for Halloween. You get the kids all excited and they go through. They Halloween night at like 9:00. No more kids are coming. They took down that inflatable and turned on a turkey inflatable. Like one was down and the other turkey inflatable was up within 3 minutes of each other.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, so it's turkey. So I give them a little bit of a pass. But man, they were ready to move on from Halloween to Thanksgiving immediately,
Okay. But again, putting the lights up, getting it done, getting it out of the way. I'm gonna call that just being proactive. I got no problem with that.
I can live with that.
But turning the lights on, come on, man. It's not Christmas. We haven't gotten to Thanksgiving yet.
Stations that are already playing for like a week and a half, they're already playing Christmas music.
But that's great. I don't want to sound like a Scrooge.
Please listen to that.
I don't want to sound like a Scrooge, but come on, man. It's a big ridiculous. This reminds me of how Black Friday used to be on Friday, day after Thanksgiving, to Black Friday had moved all the way up into Thanksgiving. Right? Everybody was trying to compete for the early Black Friday deals.
Right.
Now all of a sudden Christmas is basically right after Halloween now.
Yeah.
But I digress. I digress.
And Black Friday used to be almost like a sporting event. It was a competition, right? See if you could get what you had to get. Now there's no big deal, man. Anybody can get whatever they want, man. But I used to fight elbow, man, knock little kids down to get that big 40-inch TV.
I did that once in my life, and I was like, never again.
Well,
never again.
But
anyway,
before we have the Christmas holiday, before we have Thanksgiving, before we play the hated Cowboys, we have to tie it up with the New York Giants this Sunday.
We have some unfinished business, right?
I, you know what? this game, well, the last time we played was the one that set Reggie off.
Oh boy, dear.
And if you don't treat this as a revenge game, and I mean revenge just from your self pride, this has nothing to do with the Giants. This has to do with how did you let it happen? How did you let it happen? The Giants only have 2 wins for the season. One of them was against Washington. That's their only win in the last, I believe, 8 weeks. The Giants have not scored more than 17 points in those 8 weeks. And last week, and that week was last week against the Cowboys, that they got whooped. What was it, like 45-17? And 7 of those points came with the last 6 seconds, right? It was trash time, or they wouldn't have gotten that. So, you know, yeah, we can get to this right now. Oh, well, okay. Maybe it's too early. I'm sorry, a little premature, but
I see that, man. You're ready to get to it, but no, you're right, man. That Giants loss, I think it was back in week 7, was the game I just finally threw my hands up and like, you know what, this is it. It let me know everything I need to know about this team, and we we need another win. I think that's going to be good for my soul, but it changed my outlook on this season, no doubt, man. And I will say that it hasn't changed since. And I said that it wasn't. It was not going to change. I guess for me to be thinking this team is going to be better than what I had originally thought they were going to be.
right.
So it shed a lot of light to me on this team. And I've had to work to kind of take my emotion. It doesn't mean I don't care, because I certainly do. And even when we're at the bar on Sundays watching the game, I'm always like, you know, try not to get too high and too low when I see something happen. But this is a chance for us to somewhat right the ship. We can't go through this season getting swept by all of our division opponents. I mean, we've already lost 2 to the Eagles,
Right.
lost 1 to the Giants. We don't want to lose a second to the Giants, and then we have 2 against the Cowboys coming up, and we certainly don't want to get swept by those guys. So,
Right.
so yeah, man, I want to start this week with a win against the Giants, and then hopefully build on that, and again, hopefully set up a disappointing day for the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I agree. And when you look at, and I'm only going to go over a couple numbers with the Giants. You know, I talked about their point differential, or not the point differential, their offense of scoring the least amount. They're the worst scoring offense in the NFL. Defensively, they are on par with Washington as far as giving up points. And so it's one of those things where statistically, Giants are the worst team in the NFL.
Okay.
And if you can't beat that team, I mean, obviously we already didn't beat them. But if you get swept by that team, I'm just going to go ahead and say if they score more than 17 points, and maybe it's fluke, I'm not going to count junk time in the last, if you're up by a lot and they score something with 6 seconds left. But if they score over 20 points, even though it's a short week, Del Rio needs to go. I don't care who else is there, right? Anybody can, at this point, the staff has experience. They'll call the same 3 plays that Del Rio calls and go from there. But enough is enough. If they look like they're producing on offense, especially, they got Danny DeVito as at quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy DeVito as quarterback. I don't know that there's much difference, right? Other than a height difference, I don't think there's too much difference.
Oh man, come on, man.
Look, I don't think he threw for 100 yards last week. and that's already on a bad offensive team to go from there.
Why you being disrespectful to Tommy DeVito?
It was just a slip. It was just, I
I don't
got
think it was a slip.
finished watching some old Taxi, and so Danny DeVito was on my mind.
I think you're being disrespectful.
To Danny DeVito, I'm sorry, Danny DeVito.
Well,
I like to apologize to all the Danny DeVito fans out there.
Oh my God, man. Disrespectful, man. You just disrespectful. You probably got your Christmas lights up. You just didn't want to tell me.
I don't. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when they're up.
Just disrespectful, man. But listen, let me just say this. My bold prediction, Key. I know you like my bold predictions.
Is this really going to be bold? Is this going to be a prediction or is it bold? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone round and round. Reggie likes to go make a bold prediction. I got a bold prediction. Temperature is going to be 77 tomorrow, and it's not like bold. It's just a prediction. But go ahead.
Man.
Go ahead.
I've been known to make a few bold predictions, and this is gonna be a bold one.
All right.
If we lose to the Giants on Sunday, somebody's getting fired, and I'm saying that, and I'm not saying that like somebody should.
Right.
My prediction is someone's going to get fired on Sunday if we lose this Giants team, and whether that be Del Rio or Ron or whatever. But if we lose to that team and we look bad, I'm willing to bet, bold prediction here, someone is getting fired. If the Buffalo Bills can fire their offensive coordinator with their third-ranked offense, right, we can fire somebody, and I believe that it's going to happen. But with that though, against the Giants, man, I'm hesitant to lock this in as a guaranteed win because we want to say, well, they don't have anybody. Well, hell, we said that when we played them in week 7. They don't have any wide receivers. They don't have anybody. They just got Saquon and Dan Jones, and then they went out and they beat us, right? 14-7. So I don't want to sit here and say they don't have anybody because, one, people always seem to break records, stop streaks, have career days, and all these types of things against us. So although you're being disrespectful to Tommy DeVito might make the Pro Bowl playing us this week. I'm being a little funny, but my point being is anything can happen. And so just because they don't have anyone and it looks like they're tanking this whole deal, hey man, I don't know. But what I am more intrigued about this game than I am with our defense against their offense. That's not my worry. My worry, or I'm more intrigued about, is our offense against their defense. Have we seen the growth of the O-line? Have we seen continued growth from Sam? EB going to do something a little bit different? Because again, Wink Martindale blitzed, and he did what Wink Martindale does when we played them the first time around. And let's see if we can learn from that game, make the change, go about this game, and hopefully get the win. But I'm hoping to see a little bit more progression because, as I said last time, man, week 7 pretty much just took me out. And I had to change my mindset and go, despite whatever happens with this team the rest of the year, wins, losses, trades, whatever, this is all about finding the quarterback in Sam Howell, the continued development of Sam Howell, and hopefully that every decision made after the season will be in support of Sam Howell. Right. So take that for what it's worth, but they should not lose this game. But if they do, some people get fired. But I want to see, more importantly, how the offense, Sam Howell, and Eric Bieniemy continues to develop going forward.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. I'm gonna go ahead and make a bold prediction for myself.
Oh, what?
If Washington loses this game, I promise, write it down. I promise I will not watch the first play against the Cowboys. The first play.
Now that's what you call a non-bold prediction.
That is a bold prediction. I will not watch. I don't care who has the ball. I don't care if the Cowboys have the ball, Washington has the ball. I will turn my back on the very first play and boycott for one play. So that is a bold prediction, ladies and gentlemen.
Why? Just go to the damn bathroom and take a piss, man. What are you doing?
No. I'm going to sit there with my big gut from eating my Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to turn my back for one play, and that'll everybody will know that'll speak volumes right there.
Okay. Everyone will believe that you're turning your back on us for a little bit. Huh?
I might have to post a picture. But anyway. Yeah. We can cut to the chase and get to that time of the podcast.
No, I want to ask you real quick here, man, because
I do have some things I want to lead up to that point. But go ahead, ask away.
No, I was just going to ask you, man. So as I've pointed out, for me, this year has everything to do. The rest of the season is about finding a quarterback and the continued development of Sam Howell.
Yes.
So with that being the case, Sam is starting to get a little bit more attention nationally, right? From a statistics standpoint, he's officially leading the league after 10 games in passing yards. A big quarterback stat, right?
Sure.
People starting to take notice. He's doing some things that for a first-time quarterback during the first 10 years in terms of rushing and all the things that he's been able to do. And there are some people who aren't fully sold on Sam. And I want to get your thoughts because I think you and I, first of all, believe that Sam is QB1.
Right.
But if I'm going to look at this objectively, can you say that some of Sam's numbers, good as they may be, are a little inflated? Inflated because he is in a heavy pass first offense. He's playing on a team that is playing from behind quite a bit. He's averaging 40 pass attempts per game, right? So it's kind of like Michael Jordan. As great of a player Michael Jordan was, some of his critics says, well, yeah, he scored average 30 points a game because he shot 60 times a night. So it's volume. So if that's the case, then those people are comparing Sam to Kirk Cousins because we all felt like Kirk was a stat patter, right?
Absolutely.
So what's the difference between Kirk being a stat patter and Sam? Because again, he plays from behind.
Yeah.
He's in a pass-heavy offense. And as I mentioned, I looked it up. He's averaging 39 point something. So essentially, I rounded up to 40 pass attempts per game. And so he's putting up a lot of points. So what's the difference?
Well, I'll go and say a couple things for Sam Howell. Everybody was ecstatic that somehow Ron Rivera pulled in Eric Bieniemy to be the offensive coordinator on this team, right? That was considering that Ron Rivera was potentially a one-year quarterback, one-year head coach with the change of ownership. The idea that Bieniemy would come to Washington, consider it, that alone was a little bit of a shock. And the fact that we actually got him was a shock. And Bieniemy is looked upon two ways. One is either looked upon very, very well, or he was looked upon as he could be well, but he was in the shadow of Andy Reid in Kansas City. But with that being said, here he comes to Washington. I said at the beginning of the year that we would, before the Arizona game, we would be throwing the ball more than we would be running. And that is Bieniemy's style. That is, even if you look at Kansas City, now we're more than what Kansas City is, but Kansas City has an open offense, which normally means passing. And Bieniemy is very comfortable with the throws that for throwing that much with basically a rookie quarterback, right? I don't think Taylor Heineke would be throwing this much.
Okay.
With Bieniemy, he would not be throwing this much. And you look at the throws that he does. Kirk Cousins, as an example, would check down in a heartbeat, right? Taylor Heineke, check down in a heartbeat. Did a good job of it, but wouldn't go downfield. Sam's throwing it downfield. Sam's rolling, and I would be interested in what his completion percentage is when he rolls out of the pocket to when he's in the pocket. Overall, his completion percentage is very solid. I think he's 66, 67% for the year. But when he rolls, he's looking downfield and making plays. Last week was a perfect example. Did it a couple times. Did it 3 times. The week before, he did a couple big plays, throwing across his body. When you see a quarterback do it, and as soon as he lets go of the ball, everybody cringes. But the receiver, I believe it was Pringle, was wide open and was a big pickup.
Well, I mean, you're giving me reasons as to why Sam has more yardage.
Correct.
But he's getting those yardage in a very similar fashion as Kirk did, right?
I disagree with that. I disagree because
Let me hear it.
I would consider there have been a couple games, but I think Kirk Cousins got those when we were down 10 and 14 points. Washington has been in most of the games, even though we've lost. There's been a couple games where we were blown out. But I wouldn't call
we've only got 4 wins, and just about every one of them he had to come back, right? We came back to tie up the Philly games.
But it's not. That's not junk yards, right? When you're coming back and tying it up, that's not junk. That's fighting back. Kirk Cousins would come back and get a touchdown and a field goal, and we still lost by another touchdown, right?
Right. Kirk Cousins got more data because he played here a little bit longer, and Sam's only got 11 games on his belt, so give it some time. But my point here is he scored 2 touchdowns just to tie the game in Seattle. I mean, let me be clear.
He didn't score. When you say he scored 2 touchdowns, he scored touchdowns tying up the game each time. It wasn't like we were down by 14.
Which means he had to throw himself back into the game, Ken. These were
because we have the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL, both in yardage and in points.
Okay, but you're just giving me reasons why you're just justifying why he's throwing. But the reasons are still the same, right? And let me be clear. I think the upside, the athleticism, the ceiling, and everything about Sam is better than any quarterback we've had, including when Kirk Cousins was here. And I stand by that. And I said that on our last podcast. I believe Sam. I can't tell you the last time I've gone into a season with games since about week 3, where I said, if we win this game, it won't be if we lose this game, it's not because of Sam. So I believe in the kid, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that his numbers are a little bit inflated based on the situation that he's in. He's taking advantage of it. It's the other things, the intangibles that we're seeing that I think makes people feel good about Sam. The poise, the speed, the mobility, the accuracy, the willing to go down the field and all those things. But you can't ignore the fact that he's throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game, which allows him to pad the stats.
Well,
in other words, he's in a passing
stats. Right.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's what the question was.
We are talking partially with stats, right? Because he's throwing the ball a lot. But when he's throwing the ball a lot, again, he's not doing, I can't find it. I can't make. He can make every pass, every throw in the NFL, right?
I don't disagree with that.
He makes good consistently makes. Again, we're not talking about a 10-year veteran decisions. We're talking about a rookie quarterback decisions. Consistently makes good decisions. The only decision that he needs to improve on, and we have seen a little bit of improvement, is there's nothing there,
Okay.
throw the ball away, right?
Hey,
Um,
hang on.
and
Yeah, I think
yeah,
either my question wasn't clear when I asked it, or you didn't understand what I'm getting at. I understand the differences between Kirk Cousins as a quarterback and Sam Howell as a quarterback, or even Taylor Heineke. I'm simply talking about the inflated numbers, right? The fact that
sure.
he's the leading passer in the NFL compared to all of the Pro Bowls and All Pros and MVP guys that are out there. Sam Howell, a guy who's played 11 games and 10 this season, is leading the NFL. A lot of these guys aren't passing 40 and 50 times a game. And so
And
people
that's
were
fair.
very
That's fair. I mean,
people
if
were
you talk
very
about just yards,
critical.
that's fair.
Okay, but people were very critical of Kirk Cousins because he got a lot of what we call empty yardage. And although they were empty because we lost the game, we're still losing games, right? With Sam Howell. And
Yeah.
Sam Howell is putting up a lot of numbers. So I'm asking, how is it that one guy is getting the pass, Sam Howell, and one guy was criticized, Kirk Cousins? But I will be clear, I'm all for Sam. I am on the Sam
Well,
bandwagon.
when I talk about Sam Howell, and the fact that he's leading the NFL in yards, I don't say that to anybody. I don't go up and go. People talk to me about Sam Howell. Man, how is he doing? I was like, man, that kid's a baller, man. He again, he can make all the throws. His head's in there. He's not rattled in the pocket. He's been he's been sacked more than anybody else in the NFL. And the very next play, he'll hang in there again and
Agreed.
and with a rush in his face, make the throw. He doesn't care. And I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I haven't gone down the list to compare. Sam Howell right now is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. I can find 15 quarterbacks that I would prefer not to have. And I would prefer to have Sam Howell in that place.
Oh, he has risen up the rankings. I saw a ranking the other day. I think they had him at number 10. And then I saw another one that had him number 12.
And 10 might be a little high right now, right? Because he doesn't have the enough skins on the wall.
Maybe not, because you got to understand, they're not saying he's the 10th best in the league. He's the 10th best in the league this season. So
Okay.
you right, because you could go, okay, who's the 10 best in this league?
Right.
And you might have Sam a little bit lower, but through 10 games this year, the way he's playing, he's top 10, top 12 in this league this season. And I think that's the way the rankings are for right now. So
yeah, if I was starting a team in the NFL, I doubt that I would find more than 14 quarterbacks that I would pick before Sam Howell if I was a new owner with a franchise and I get to pick whoever I want as my quarterback.
That's fair.
And
so like I said, I wasn't trying to it was just an interesting perspective between the two players. However, I'm all in on Sam Howell.
And I don't understand the hate on Sam Howell, right? I can understand some people pumping the brakes a little bit. I understand that. But
I've not heard a lot of hate. I've heard more people just saying, pump the brakes. Hold on. What have you seen?
I've seen some people on social media, and maybe they're just trolling, talk about, especially after a loss. Oh man, he's trash. We need to get another quarterback, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you can't trust people that's talking like that. That's just stupid. Because the kid's not trash. So yeah, that just
far from it. Far from it.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So I will say if our offensive line to go with this, if our offensive line was close to what we thought it might be, or close to what the coaching staff thought it would be, doesn't have to be 100%, but closer to it, and our defense was half of what we think that it should be, Sam Howell it'd be a different quarterback, or the expectations on him would be a whole lot less. But the MVP of the season at the midway point, we already talked about it last week, is Sam Howell. Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, he's the MVP at this point.
Look, man, this podcast is supposed to be about a preview of the New York Giants, and man,
Right.
you're getting me sidetracked here, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna say, I want to say one more bit here, and then we try to get back on track here. This season, I'm putting it all of the issues that we have this season, or the fact that we're not a good team, it's on the defensive side. And I'm gonna go why. I understand we had some issues with the O-line early on. We starting a young quarterback.
Yep.
I get all of that.
Yep.
But what did we say with Taylor Heineke? What did we say in the offseason? With this defense, the way this defense is played, the way they're going to improve, another year in the system, the return of Chase Young, the way F.A. Abato, Two Hill, James Smith-Wade, the way everybody's playing, Payne, Allen, man, them guys got paid. If this defense holds, if we get top 15, top 20 play out of the quarterback, this team is going to be it. We're getting top 10 play out of the quarterback, and the defense went the complete opposite way. So to me, if even with the issues we've had on the O-line, if our defense was living up to the expectation that they were supposed to have lived up to, this team would be totally different. 14-7, you beat the Giants. You don't let Chicago put 40 on you. Right? You beat you beat Seattle. You don't let them with 50 seconds.
Pull out one of the Philadelphia wins.
You win the Philadelphia. I mean, how different is the record at that point if the defense just do what they were supposed to do?
Right. Middle of the road.
I just named you, right? Seattle, one of the Philly, the Chicago game, and the first New York Giants game. That's 4 wins. All of a sudden, you add 4 wins. We're 8-2 now.
Right.
This is we're talking 8-2, and with Sam putting up the numbers, even with the sacks. You be talking about Sam. They be talking about not only Sam Howell, but this team in a different light. If all of a sudden, if this defense was doing what they were supposed to do,
right?
But instead, here we are. They're toward the bottom of the division. I mean, toward the bottom of the league in almost every statistical category, and we got essentially a rookie quarterback that's carrying this game. We've won 4 games, and the only reason we won those 4 is because of Sam Howell.
Right.
We won those games because of Sam. It wasn't because of the defense.
Right.
So Sam got your 4 wins. But again, this is supposed to be about the New York Giants, man. You just got me going there a little bit.
Yeah, no, I understand it. And it's that kind of year, right? It's that kind of year where obviously the record isn't where you wanted it to be. And you know, if Sam was struggling and making a few mistakes, you write it off to a rookie quarterback. The mistakes that we're having is entire groups, right? For a while, it was the entire offensive line. It wasn't just one offensive lineman that, man, you know, we need to keep a linebacker. I'm not a linebacker, a tight end to help that right tackle, right? As an example, if he keeps getting beat, or, you know, the running back needs to pick up the blitz, which they always do, but he needs to consistently do that to help this one guy. Early on, you know, the whole offensive line was struggling. They've improved. The strategy that Bieniemy put in place the last few weeks has helped the line, as well as the improvements in the change of personnel. And then you go to the other side of the ball, and it's like, man, it's rough. It's rough over there.
It is rough.
But we're playing it again. I'll go back. We're playing a team that struggles to find anything good. And Reggie, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's that time. Right?
It's that time. Let's do it.
It's that time. We can't beat around the bush anymore.
What's your name? What's your number? What's your name?
And this week, what's your name? What's your number? It could be high, it could be low, right? It's how much confidence do you have in this team? And I think if you're talking about a Washington team, you don't have a terrible amount of confidence. But look who we're playing. We're playing the New York Giants, man. Reggie, I'm going to let you go ahead and go first because I've got a list of things that I'm going to touch base with here, and I'll go through it. I'll go through it fast, but I'll let you go first.
All right, man. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I know I can
Go
get
ahead.
long-winded sometimes, so I'm gonna keep it short
Yes.
and sweet. So we alluded to it earlier, man, that we're playing the Giants and they don't have anybody. But the last time I said that, we lost the game. But I'm gonna say it again, man. They don't have anybody, right? This is a bad New York Giants team. We're playing this game at home, right?
Yep.
And what was I gonna say? They got Tommy DeVito. I don't even know who the hell this kid is, right? And I believe, I know a lot of people say that players don't tank, the teams don't tank, and all those kinds of things, which I get it. I don't think necessarily players go out with the intent of trying to do it because they're contractors, right? And they don't want bad film on tape, bad play on video, and all those kinds of things. So players don't go out to potentially tank, but organizations can tank, and there's ways to do it. And I believe that New York is actually trying not to win a whole lot of games. They're probably trying to make sure they get a top 5 pick because it's a bad team. And so, by all intents and purposes, Washington should win this game, Ken.
Okay.
But I go back to the last New York Giants game that changed it all for me.
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence that this team will do because the Washington thing to do is to play down to the level of competition, especially the Ron Rivera-led team. And either we barely squeak by and win this game or we somehow lose this game. So this is going to be my highest number in probably about 3-4 weeks.
Uh-oh.
But I'm gonna give it a 5.
5. Is that a strong 5? Is that a weak 5? That's a waffle 5.
What did I
That's
say?
a waffle.
How's that a waffle? I said 5.
Because 5's like, we might win, we might lose. That's a waffle number.
Hey, it's on the scale. What do you want me to do? Give it a 5.5 or 5.2?
That means you're leaning towards a win.
No,
right?
I looked at it as it's higher than the 3 that I've been giving it.
All right.
So the confidence is a little higher. It's higher than the 4 I gave it last week.
Hey, your number is your number. I'm not going to try and talk you out of your number. I expected a little bit
bashing my number. You bashing my number. That's all.
I'm surprised by it. I'm honestly surprised by your number. I thought it would be over a 5. But
you don't know me though, Ken.
What's your name? What's your name? I got your number. Maybe I forgot your name.
You don't know me. You don't know me, man.
But
well, let's see what your number is.
Okay, I look at this, and I think Washington's defense and the Giants' defense are equally horrible. Right? The Giants are 31st in points allowed and 32nd in yards allowed. But on the offensive side, Washington is the Giants are last on offense and basically last on defense. Washington is from a scoring perspective is in the middle of the pack. And the way our offense has been more consistent the last few weeks, and with the fact that Washington is playing against Danny DeVito's nephew, Tommy DeVito.
Disrespectful.
What? It's from New York. Danny DeVito's got it from New York. They got to be related.
Disrespectful.
I'm making a call as soon as we get off this this podcast. I'm calling my bookie, Vinny. Everybody knows Vinny. Okay. I'm betting my paycheck. I'm betting this week's paycheck that Washington walks away with a win, and my number's a 10. My number is a 10.
I don't think
there's no way. There's no
ever
way.
Giving it a 10.
This is a 10. There's no way we lose this game, Reggie.
I don't think you've ever given a 10, man. I feel like this is the kiss of death. You just killed it. My number should be dropped now. I probably should drop my number.
Number is what your number is. This is
a 10, huh? Ken, is that
paycheck. Wow. I'm calling Vinny. putting a whole paycheck on it. And
No
if
wonder you was trashing my number.
if I show up Thanksgiving to the Thanksgiving dinner with a broken leg, that means I was a little short on the cash. But
Man, no wonder.
I'm gonna
no
be
wonder.
celebrating. My pockets are gonna be loaded. My pockets are gonna be loaded.
All right, a
Thanks
10.
to
Look, man.
Washington Commanders.
Look. I I'm rooting for a win, but
Right.
they're going to show me, brother.
There's no way. It might be ugly. It might be pretty. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Washington walks away with a win. They might make me sweat. Right. I might be looking over my shoulder, with 2 minutes to go, going, man, is Vinny already here collecting?
Let me just tell you something, man. If we win this game 14-10, 13-10, this might as well be a loss. If we win this game, something.
Well, we can talk about that depending on how it ends up playing out. But
it is what it is, man. A 10. I don't think I've ever heard you give it a 10, but we're gonna roll with that. I'm all right. All right, brother. I'm left speechless.
Yeah,
we just sign off with that one.
I'm a little speechless myself, Reg. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what came over me.
Okay,
but I put it out there. I got to stick by it. But we will be at the local sports bar this weekend, catching the game, and I'm sure I'll catch a little heat from people sitting at the bar that my number is so high, but we shall see. Your number is
what it is. It is your number. So, well, folks, we appreciate everybody tuning in, listening to us, and hopefully we was able to entertain you a little bit, and hopefully we can come back with this win.
I don't disagree. We will be coming back with a win. Till next time. Peace out, knuckleheads.
Peace out, y'all.